What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's hump day, and I'm not very humpy. Not as humpy as I have been, so I guess I can't complain. I hope everybody's humps is smoothly humping, not too humpity humpity. And yeah, well, we're here. Married to Medicine is back. Did y'all enjoy the show? Because I did. They did not disappoint. Um, Might as well just get into it. Hey T, did you enjoy the show? I liked it. Y'all like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the things that are married to medicine. They back with some familiar faces. Some of the old girls, some of the old girls are still there. And yeah, some new faces. We got a few new faces, and some people are missing. They talked a lot about some people, but they not here for real, for real. So I don't know when Dr. Heavenly is gonna make an appearance, but all we're gonna do at this point right now is just talk about her. Where we gonna start? It's a hot girl party over at Quad's house. I guess every season now we're gonna start at Quad's birthday. That's where we're gonna get into things. So there was a birthday celebration the night before, and recovering the day after is a hot girl pool party over at her house. So I'm not mad at that. I think that's these girls are not 20 something. I don't know that they were bringing the sun's, rise up, but they partied a little last night. And then today they came over here to film over in Quad's lovely Granada over down to her pool. Child, that house is so nice. That pool is so nice. I've had a house with a pool before. It wasn't that. So shout out to Quiet. Some people be hating on Quiet. King will be serving the lovely ladies today. King is back. Quiet and King over here looking good together. I'm going to say something. Quiet got up from that pool and ran into the house, and her booty cheeks was out. So I couldn't help but notice them. And I don't know why Dr. Heavenly keeps saying her booty fake, but it wasn't given fake. It was given very much authentic. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Quad and her cakes introducing us to the season 12, episode 1. Does King have a boner? Quad don't watch Real House of Atlanta. No pool party with your man there. Ain't she wanna Portia's friends? Listen, the man has a boner, and I was like, you got all your girls over here in bikinis, and now your man walking around serving charcuterie with a boner. I'm just saying, I don't know what they're into, but if my man got a boner around the ladies, then he can sit his ass somewhere around the corner. Go find some friends until I'm done. Because everybody's booty cheeks was out. You can't trust all these girls over here talking about, hey, King, But this is where we're starting. That pool is something else, though, I tell you. Angel was introduced, Quad's fan. I remember Angel from Basketball Wives. But there was a point in time where I stopped messing with Basketball Wives, so I don't really remember much about her. I know she's gorgeous. Probably was only there for half a season or so. Anyway, I remember her though. Her body is nuts. Her body is insane. Now I don't know what she over there doing. If she got that naturally, it don't matter because whatever it is, golly, I be feeling like maybe I should eat a salad or something. Not today, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll start on salads, see what I can do. I don't think it's ever gonna be doing what Angel is doing. I'm glad they're introducing other areas of medicine. She was in the OG. She was over there with OG and them. So was that sisters over there when she was there? Was she there when those sisters came over there? Because I was kind of in and out with that season. I wasn't, I don't remember. Basketball Wives, I could take it or leave it. Usually I leave it. I have no idea what's going on now with Basketball Wives. I had to, anything with Evelyn Lozada on it, I'm probably not going to tune in. Anyway, yeah, we got some nurses over here this time. Everybody's not a doctor. There are other areas of medicine. So, and nurses are very important. And isn't it interesting how they're trying to keep us from becoming nurses by taking away grants, calling it not professional? How many people deal more with their nurse than they do with their doctor? Anyway, this ain't about that. This is about something different. So Quad and Simone are still beefing. After the way Simone was doing all that crazy hollering and screaming down to the reunion, I wouldn't have nothing to say to Simone. That lady is crazy. I think it's either she's in love with Quad, she's clearly very jealous of Quad, or maybe Cecil is the one in love with Quad, but she got a whole lot of energy towards Quad for what reason? Like, it's like she did something to her. She did not. You can't be that mad at somebody for not hanging out with you all the time. And I wouldn't want to. She's too damn loud. I was like, her energy towards Quad is something like different. It just is it just me, or are y'all getting like, what the hell is wrong with Simone? Now, Simone and Jackie are back at filming lunches together because I do feel like when the season is not on, when they're not, filming like they like to say, I don't think Dr. Simone and Jackie really be spending a whole lot of times with their sack lunches over in whatever cafeteria they were sitting in. Do they even work in the same? Anyway, child, I don't believe that's their norm either. Simone is over here mad. Yeah, she's annoying. She's over here mad because Quad doesn't spend time with her. However, like I said, I don't think her and Jackie even cool like that, because Jackie and Heavenly is cool. So this energy that Simone has for Quad is just so out of place, and we're just making her look like she's going crazy. Jackie asked her if she talked to Quad, and Simone starts with, after New York, because that's where we saw them last over at the reunion, getting rid of Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea. Simone said after the reunion, she felt so disappointed in herself about her behavior. However, she's frustrated because she just can't stand the whole playing the victim. What? Then they show a whole montage of all the times Simone was being an asshole to Quad, trying to tell her how to live her life and how to be. What, bitch, why do I need to be like you? You got it twisted. Dr. Whatever your name, Simone Loud. Simone need to take a look in the mirror while she's criticizing Quad, because she's looking a hot ass fool, all that hollering and screaming. Nothing is really going on in her house that she should be proud of. Is her son still laying on the couch? Are they still paying the bills? That's her problem. Simone, are you mad because you are the breadwinner in the house and you got to take care of everybody? Meanwhile, Quad is over here luxuriating in her Granada with her friends and her man with the boner. And Cecil always be wanting Quad to be invited to things, and I feel like that has a little bit to do with her energy towards Quad. I mean, Simone is sitting up here claiming the playground. Is she in charge of the girls? What is she even talking about? Because Quad been here since day one. Like, you can't kick Quad anywhere. I mean, y'all did that whole thing where you ganged up on her. See how that turned out for you. So here she is. She got to play on my playground. I'm like, what is she talking about? So this is how the beef, oh my God, this is where the beef picked up. Because, 1 minute it's about playing the victim, and then the other minute it's about throwing shade. So on some interview somewhere, somebody asked Quad who would be the best castmate for Traitors, and she says Simone. I believe that's what they call light shade. She was going to have to say somebody's name. You know what I'm saying? So what was she going to say? Jackie, and then what? So I guess anybody would have been offended if she would have said Toya. Nope, I'm not saying Toya. Me and Toya finally got back to where we, were. Not where we were, but we ain't fighting no more. So I'm not saying her name. I'm saying Simone. So I can't believe she was that bent out of shape about it, though. Because, like I said, it was light shade. Simone is looking for a reason. So she retaliated to that shade by going on Sweet Tea's podcast and talking about how Quad gonna pay her mortgage. If Quad got somebody paying her mortgage, what's it to you, Simone? I mean, it seems like the mortgage is getting paid. She ain't been evicted from nowhere. That's Toya and Eugene. How she paying her mortgage? Why? Girl. And you on a YouTube channel with the wife of my ex-husband, who obviously there's a lot of tension. Girl, there's a difference between throwing light shade and drag. And I think what you was doing was making it personal over there with Sweet Tea giggling. What do you mean how she gonna pay her mortgage? Y'all sound stupid. Both of them. That's why Sweet Tea's no longer here. What does Shani say? Thank you for your services. She won't be needed no longer. Anyway, fast forward after all of that transpired at somewhere over on Watch What Happens Live and other places. Anyway, now it's Quad's birthday, and she has invited everyone to her birthday except for Simone because they beefing. They got an issue. They talking shit. Like, I thought we were cool or what have you, but now you over here with Sweet Tea talking about my mortgage and stuff. Yes, Quad Shay was tongue in cheek, and Simone, it was personal. And not only that, it's over there with Sweet Tea. Like, you still like, okay, girl, if that's your friend, then let that be your friend. And I'll be over here with my hot friends in the Granada and bikinis and things, letting my man serve us all with a boner. I'm not judging. They do it how they do it over there. Is it just me, or what's her man's name? See, I forgot. I kept talking about his boner and now I can't remember his name. But King. Huh. So is it just me, or is King over there like becoming a cast member? He's not afraid to talk. He ain't shy. He's a whole they got confessionals. Take it easy, King. Anyway, everybody's in the text telling Quad happy birthday. And so Simone, I guess, is feeling FOMO because she's the only one not included because her and Quad ain't really talking. She chimes in and say happy birthday. And so then Quad responded with a good gift would be paying my mortgage off, LOL. Just to let you know, I didn't think that was funny, but LOL. And, if you and Cecil aren't doing anything, feel free to come through. You knew it was a party. You already heard about it. So if you don't want to get dressed and you're upset because I know she didn't invite me to her party 2 hours before it started. She didn't invite you to her party. That's what had happened. You were actually not invited to the party. But since you said happy birthday, girl, come through if you really want to be, a part of something. I don't know. I'm not understanding what Simone's energy is. It's like a weird obsession. So, Cecil over here mad because he can't get invited to things, and he was probably like making it worse. Like, I know Quad I know her party off the chain. Quad be wild over there. He was probably quieting her to death while she was not allowed to go because she want to be up there with Sweet Tea. Girl. Toya and Eugene, they have bought another house. It's beautiful. Eugene is working away from home so he can pay the mortgage. Sometimes he be 5 hours away. Sometimes he be 2.5 hours away. And LaToya is, of course, in her big, beautiful home, complaining about how the man's not at home. He be gone days at a time. He look happy to be away from your ass 5 days at a time. He come through. He say hi to the kids. It sounds like an ideal situation for people who have been married that long. If Dr. Eugene do anything out of line, his ass will be on the shade room faster than you can blink an eye. So I don't know that I would be too worried about whatever he's doing over there. Hey, Elsid, pop it in. Anyway, LaToya complains about him not being at home every season. So we're getting introduced, I guess, to what the energy is going to be like over here. Contessa just screamed her way back onto this cast. Thank you, El Cid. She said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. So, just like saying hi or what's up or whatever. Yeah, just go ahead and hit the like button and join in the conversation. Contessa and all her howling gets on my nerves, to be honest, but she's back as a full timer. And her and Scott have, they bought that building. They said it was in 2023. Kudos to that, because it's a good investment if you have the money. This is the thing. I don't think he said they're 4 months off schedule. I think on a big renovation, that's not too crazy. Contractors be finding a way to, you know, keep the job going a little bit. You might need this, but a lot of the things that need to be done saves you money in the long run. So if it's like you might want to change these pipes before we put the walls up, however, it depends. You know what I'm saying? You have to be smart and know when to hold them and when to fold them. But I don't think that sounds so crazy because in the end, if they can get it together, it'll be one heck of an investment. And then maybe Contessa can come home like Scott being home. Don't be mad at Scott because he ain't got a full schedule like you. Scott, what you doing? Why you being home by 2:30? I'm not mad at it. Mimi and Steve. They're having this what they call it, a polo classic, a garden party polo classic. So they stuck paper and invitation to a chunk of astroturf or whatever you call it, sod grass. Scott said 9 to 5. Apparently not even 9 to 5, 9 to 2:30. The kids are not little. That's one thing too. Like these kids are all teenage. You don't have to be rushing around trying to pick them up from. Half of them are getting their driver's license and stuff. So it's a little bit different when they get a little older. You're not chasing them around. Toya and Eugene's kids, boy, it's so funny watching them now from when they're in a minute they gonna be then caught up with what you call it, Simone's kids. Could they still be living over there? Not Toya's children. Those children have chores and things, and they will not be sleeping on her couch. She will be in her 17,000 square foot home alone without anything, to worry about. Maybe invite some of her country club friends over to hang out in her closet. She had a cherry blossom tree in her closet. Now, I definitely think I want a cherry blossom tree, but not in my closet. Maybe like, on the side of the house. What'd you say, T? They was cooking. They one of them got their daddy's cooking spirit. I don't know which one is which. The oldest one, his cute self. He looked just like Toya. But the other one is the one be having all the girlfriends. That is so funny. I would like to see more of them because now they're getting older. But Toya, she keep her kids a little. Who was it? What was he driving? Yes, he was driving. Huh. Anyway, yes. What's this girl? Mimi. Mimi's having a garden party, a polo classic, and it was giving a little Alice in Wonderland, but not in a bad way. Toya comes over to Simone's house to get dressed. Why do they do that? I do. I think the tree was cute, but I mean, I don't have a closet that I need a tree in. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But it was very lovely, and based on the way she, her lifestyle and things, she has friends that come over and they hang out in the closet. I would guess so. It seems like one of the prettier rooms, but I definitely want me a cherry tree. Um, this girl's garden party looks cute. They have it decorated. They got signature drinks. You knock on the little thing and the drink comes out. Oh, I guess. What am I drinking? Do I can't see the person's face? I don't know. It's cute, I guess. They had a giant chessboard. It was, like I said, it was a little Alice in Wonderland, but she said garden party. Some people's themes be a little off. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's okay to fuse your things together if they make sense. And this made sense. Um, I don't know why they come over. Are they driving together? Why do we go over to somebody else's house? It seems like a lot of work for me to drag all my shit over to somebody else's house to get ready. How come I can't get ready and then go over there when it's time to leave? But we got to do something. Toya hasn't been over to Simone's house in 8 months. Is that because they're only around each other when they're filming? Now y'all's the slips is showing. Y'all cut this girl off for not hanging around, and y'all ain't hanging around each other. And then Simone kept saying, "So what? You ain't been over here. You've been hanging out with Quad. You and Quad cool now?" Yes, basically, we don't have no issues right now. Toya's over here trying to keep this job. She don't want to sit up here arguing all the time. But think once you reach a certain age, you be tired of that. So just to be clear, Simone and Toya are only filming friends. They're not actually real life friends. I bet you that Simone has not seen the cherry blossom tree in the closet. There's no need to invite Simone over to your closet. She ain't going to get it right anyway. Toya says she wants the group to be good. Yeah, maybe. I mean, as good as they can be. That's her job. She wants to play mediator, although she be, causing more trouble, bad than good. She be causing more trouble than good. While she's saying she wants the girls to be good, Cecil is like, well, what about you and Jackie? What if Jackie has to check you? Another Watch What Happens Live. Between these interviews and Watch What Happens Live, these ladies, get falling out with each other. He's so annoying. He waits every single time until I start. Okay. Anyway, over on Watch What Happens Live, Toya brought up that Curtis be having his hands on people. And they actually asked him, put that picture of Heavenly up and ask her about Heavenly, about Curtis putting his hands around her waist. And Toya said he'd be having his hands around people's waist. And he does. But this upset Jackie because she didn't like it. Curtis pulled Toya down on him. They show that video over and over and over and over and over again. And when you look at her, she seemed a little uncomfortable. She kind of like stiffed up a bit, but didn't want to make a big deal out of it, probably because, it threw her off. So Jackie is hung up on the Toya sat on his lap. She did not. She was pulled down on his lap in front of everyone. So, I mean, Jackie, I don't know what you're going through. And Toya is kind of the opposite. She's nice and thick in the thighs. It seems like that's what he's like. And Jackie is a bag of bones. But, that's neither here nor there. But since Jackie liked to come for people, maybe somebody needs to come for her. And I'll take it. I'll do it. It'll be fine. Instead of Jackie saying something to Toya, she decided to take the beef to the chat. So she said it on the chat that how that upset her, that she was on Watch What Happens Live saying these things about Curtis. And the chat stayed out of it. None of them people wanted to get involved with that. And how long ago was that? Like at the end of the day, that was a long time ago. Jackie. She brought up Heavenly, Toya did. She was. Because Heavenly is not around ever since it came out that her son got arrested. And Heavenly found out when we found out. She was on Candy's show and she said that it came on the internet. And she should have just confronted Toya. She should have. You mean Jackie? Yes, she should have said something to her privately, but you want to make it about, at the end of the day, confront her about what though? Curtis pulled Toya down on his lap. You out here making it seem like, I was doing too much. He was doing too much. And I mean, he probably has done too much other places. That's what she implied. She implied that Curtis be being handsy. Besides that particular incident that happened 20 years ago. Anyway, Toya, brought up Heavenly and the boy getting arrested. Heavenly said he was wrong. And because this cop, had an experience with Damon, he was able to, I don't know, sweep it under the rug, keep it from being public, till now. We don't know. We don't see Damon on the show. He stays out of the limelight, probably because he be out here wilding. But it got handled. Simone out here talking about it's a target on black men in this country. I'm like, there's a target on black women in this country. Much of the time at the hands of a black man. So, girl, the boy was out here in these streets doing something he didn't have no business doing. That's what his mama said. And he's a rich kid, so he was able to get out of trouble. So, yeah, I guess, girl. He wasn't some innocent child somewhere being targeted by the police. It's such a blurry line, but the boy did something wrong. And so Heavenly was not going to come around and talk about that. She's using her campaign as an excuse not to be around, even though she said Bravo did it. They probably did you a favor, girl. If you're running for office, you don't need to be a part of any of this because there's no way to balance it. There's no way to make it normal. Cecil told Toya, don't go tit for tat with Heavenly. Let's just don't. I guess. Then would tell your wife, don't go tit for tat with Quad for no reason. Yes, even the president is targeting black women. So I just don't really want to hear that right now. I just saw some college kid, and this is a little bit off subject, but I just saw some college kid, Morehouse kid, beating on some girl because he stepped on her shoe and she asked him to say, excuse me. And just beating on her. So what the hell was Damon Jr. out here doing? I don't know what he was doing, but not protect the black man. This ain't that, girl. Yeah, so we ain't go tit for tat. The only way we're not going tit for tat is if Heavenly's not there. Seemed like I seen her in something, one of the previews arguing about keeping people's name out her mouth. But anyway, it's time for this party. And based on this Steve child, this might be a pimp polo classic because he looked like the Joker. Not the Joker. Who was it? The Mask, Jim Carrey. He out here repping Louis. See what I'm talking about? He out here repping Louis. Who do Louis? I can't even get it out. Who does Louis Vuitton rep? Not us. But we'll sure be over there spending thousands of dollars on a purse that cost them $45 just because it say Louis Vuitton on it. Steve said he's sophisticated. Do he know Carrie over there off the coast? Cab Calloway. Yes, he look a fool. Now, Cecil looked nice. He always does. And I think King looked nice. Cecil and King. See, this is the thing. Cecil wants to hang out with King because he thinks King is cool. Eugene is never there. He's always gone. But the problem is Simone is annoying and nobody wants to be around her. And the last thing Simone wants to do is go over there to hot tub heaven at the Granada at Quad's house. And now that she's worried about the mortgage, and she'll never get in that house. I bet you Quad will never have her there. I wouldn't invite her to nothing that took place at my house. Go stay at your house separate from your husband. Don't you have a house where your husband don't live? Stop. And I'm supposed to take advice from you. You paying everybody's mortgage. Girl, shut up. I thought the lady had it. I thought it looked nice. I thought it was a cute little venue. Aside from this fool dressed like Cab Calloway. Contessa's tacky ass walks in hating. I thought I was going to see some horses. Why? Nobody wants to do that. It's not like a real ranch. It's a garden party polo classic. It's polo things, not horses. The horses are in the stable and they're smelly and they shit on things. So nobody was doing that. Tacky Contessa. Has she ever had an event? I don't remember her having any events. I know she orders chicken wings and things and opens the containers in her kitchen, but I don't remember Contessa hosting anything. I only know of her coming to people's house and talking shit about their event. So if she did something, hosted something, she hosted a daggum ambush down to her movie theater room. That's all I remember. And now I can't, like, she should do something about her cleavage. I got it out of my system. I won't bring it up again, but that's what Heavenly said at that last reunion. And now I feel like, girl, you're gonna have to do something different with whatever you're wearing, because that cleavage is distracting. Um, or get it redone, honey. These girls go back and forth and getting their stuff redone all the time. Go fix yours. So Brandy is what is she? She's a nurse practitioner. This is Toya's friend, or this is how they're bringing her in. So Brandy is a nurse, and she has all these med spas where she does all of these, fancy procedures, cosmetic procedures that you would want to have a medical professional, and not somebody who just went and took the class. You think she needs to eat a little? So does Dr. Jackie. I don't know if she looked wore out. She's got this construction going on. She's got Contessa's doing all the things. Who knows what? And we've got to pretend like we're happily ever after and everything is all fixed. I don't believe that. So she might be stressed out. She's always unpleasant and loud and shady. Toya asked Jackie where is Heavenly, and Jackie says she running for office. That's why she's not here. And she said it's none of y'all's business. Was Jackie being shady? It didn't seem like she was coming from a very supportive place. I was like, is she making fun of her friend? Talking about she about to be the vice president? Now, if Heavenly win, y'all gonna feel stupid. She was, she knows her numbers and whatever. I don't have to vote in her district, so it's not a decision that I need to spend any time worrying about. Toya ain't going for it. Toya gonna ask Jackie, is Curtis mad at me? Because he didn't speak. I think he's probably mad. They start this conversation. Toya wants Jackie to apologize for saying that she sat on Curtis's lap. Jackie says she's not doing that. I don't care one way or the other. I think this is stupid to bring this back up. Jackie, you know who your husband is. So if you don't want people to say it, then make sure he stops putting his hands on people. Especially he probably gets touchy and tipsy when they have those events and things. Simone decides to go over and say hi to Quad. Quad came in and she's like, she always got to make a grand entrance. She's telling this to the new lady, Brandy. I guess it's a grand entrance to come in and say hi to everybody. She Quad, so she loud. Not as loud as Simone, but Simone just was bothered by the mere presence. It was very weird. Like Quad just being there made her upset. What you say, if Simone has an issue with Quad, then why is the first thing she do is get all in her face? Yes, she got all up in her face. So Quad has a hand of one of those hand fans, and Simone gets all up in her face talking about I'm hot. I'm like, you're what? Back up. You're making me uncomfortable. What are you talking about? So that's her version. And she came in there talking about she putting off her playground or whatever. She has such this, deep energy, like negative energy towards Quad. I'm like, do you love her? What is happening right now? There's a lot of envy coming through on Simone's side. And then when you put it all together, like year after year after year, I'm like, you've been jealous of this girl for a very long time. It was weird. I'm hot. So they're standing there all having a casual conversation. Did I see Angel? Angel was there, but this was more focused on, what's her name? Brittany. And they're standing around talking, and Jackie looks at this lady and says, is your thyroid out of control? What did she say? Do you have an enlarged thyroid? What's wrong with her? This is the lady that sat up there and made this whole tearful apology about how, black women and, you know, more mortality rates and things. This was your whole platform for that. And you were heartfelt and deepest down in your soul apologetic about how you didn't mean it. Then you look at this lady and say, don't you have an enlarged thyroid? As if, because she looks pretty young. You know what I'm saying? She's a pretty lady. And I feel like if you're going through something like that, you think that lady don't wake up in the morning and notice that that she has a situation. Now I'm guessing that is probably something that maybe is worse as sometimes than others. I don't know, but I know that when you're dealing with a thyroid issue, there's definitely a lot of balancing and stuff involved in medication. So why would you say that? That was so mean. Now, if somebody say, "Are you okay? Do you have an eating disorder?" Because everybody tiptoes around it and don't want to say it, but we see Jackie's skin and bones. That's what we see over here trying to. She thinks she's fine, I guess. I mean, if she don't think it's somebody need to, but I feel like Curtis like meat on the bones, and all these ladies are meaty, except for Simone. She's something different. She's more teethy. I don't know. Out the blue, Simone talks about coming to this party. You think I'm coming to your party 2 hours before, just being invited 2 hours before? Like I said, she wasn't invited. So if we're gonna make this a thing, it's a thing. And then she brought up the whole traders thing, and Quad was like, "Oh yeah." Like that, like it was almost like she's like, "That's what pissed you off, girl." Yeah, that's what we were. That's what we're wondering. She, pretty much told her, "Girl, we were not cool. I had not spoke to you, so I didn't invite you to the party because that's where we were then." Um, the men said they tired of hearing it. We're tired of hearing it. We don't understand. We walked into this episode over at the Granada, and now we're talking about. I'm sure they have much more going on. First episode is a little tidbit of this and a little tidbit of that. So looking forward to seeing what's going on with the new ladies. Angel been here before. You thought they wanted to be on Traders anyway? Yeah. Yeah. Um, all the girls, is it portional traders? Like it's not a bad thing. So you turn that into something, a job. Who else did it? Phaedra did it. So, girl, yeah, that's why she mad. She sounds stupid even saying that. She did the same thing to Buffy. Yeah, she called Heavenly fat. She, the way she said the whole thing with you're barren or sterile or whatever she said about Buffy was like nuts that she's saying that in front of a group of people. I don't understand it. Is it like Tourette's, like she has something in her head and it just comes out of her mouth? And then if you retaliate, like, I mean, Sweet Tea called her a motherfucker or whatever she called her. It just cuts her ass out. Oh, anyway. Um, Based on what we see coming up, this fight is going to be ongoing and ongoing. So, poor Simone. I don't know. It's very sad. She's like spiraling out of control. And I feel like Quiet could give a care. She's got something going on. Now, I heard her say that they were taking their IVF journey to Africa or wherever they're going to do this IVF journey. Y'all haven't even figured out which house you're living in. Why are you trying to figure out a baby before you even living under the same roof? Y'all, that's the easiest thing to figure out. But he ain't moving over there, Quiet. So I guess y'all gonna have to do something else. If that was my house, I would have a hard time too. Though I understand where she's coming from. What does his house look like? Or they can purchase something together, and then Simone really can like spiral out of control. Get rid of her. Get rid of Simone. She thinks this is her show, girl. This is her playground. This is her playground, and if you want to play, and she was talking about, I got so much stuff on Quad. If I wanted to tell it, like what? things she's done, things she said, things people have said about her. Why are we there? What has she done that bad that you want to spill it like that? Like how Funky Dineva spilled it all over Tamar. Child, I got a kick out of that this weekend. They should both, yeah, they should both keep their homes and buy one together. That's what I said. Because I feel like based on everything Quad has been through, for her to achieve that, have that nice home, and then I know she doesn't want to let it go. So that's the easy enough thing to you know, to figure out. But y'all are on a journey to make a baby. So at some point y'all gonna have to do something. Move over there by Toya. She got a pretty house. She got a house with a cherry blossom tree in there. Anyway, y'all, that's the first episode of Married to Medicine. I still got to get Potomac out, and I'm not really gonna try to spend too much energy on Love and Marriage Huntsville. So that's the last thing I'm worried about. Um, y'all, we took a trip to Bessemer, so the yeah, that should take me about 5 minutes to talk about. Anyway, yeah, back on schedule. Starting Sunday, we'll be ready to love, and then I'm gonna be doing Married to Medicine on Tuesdays. So I'm here on Wednesday, but from moving forward, it'll be Ready to Love on Sunday, Potomac on Monday, and Married to Medicine on Tuesday. And Love and Marriage Huntsville will be there whenever I stick it in there. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and go. Talk to you later. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.